Hi everyone and welcome to Protocol 36, and in today's video we'll be talking about another Marvel Spider-Man 2 leak, being about the gameplay including the symbiote suit, Traversal and more. Just bear in mind though, take this with a grain of salt since this is a leak, so there's a chance that it could be fake. But as of right now nothing has been confirmed by Insomniac other than it being a single player experience, the release date being 2023, and of course Venom being in the game. Also I want to give a quick shout out to Ronnie from News to Astonish, who inspired me to create this video and allowed me to go ahead and talk about it. His channel will be in the link in the description down below. I really recommend you guys check it out after you're done watching this video, as he truly makes awesome content about Marvel Spider-Man 2 and more. But just before we get started, if at any point you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you could drop a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. So let's read through the leak, which CBR made an article on. Link will be in the description down below if you want to check it out, and then we'll break it down afterwards. A recent leak suggests that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will greatly expand upon the original game, with multiple playable characters, an overhauled movement system, and unexpected villains. The leak comes by way of Reddit, where an Insomniac Games employee spilled some of the details on the game using a throwaway account. The developer, who allegedly works on the Traversal team for Spider-Man 2, answers some questions from eager fans. The title will reportedly allow players to choose to play missions as either Peter Parker or Miles Morales, each having unique skills and abilities. Whoever the player doesn't choose will be controlled by an AI and provide support during the quest. Peter's web trick system has been improved to play more like Miles in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, while the walk-around system have been revamped, allowing for smoother transitions between actions without hindering the player's pace. The speed cap for the game has been greatly improved, meaning players can web stream 1.7 to 1.8 times faster than the original Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game. This is largely due to the PlayStation 5's SSD technology, allowing Insomniac Games to render the levels quicker. The poster also mentions that webs can now be railed in, acting as a kind of grappling hook to help clear certain objects when moving around New York City. As a Venom and the symbiotic suit, the supposed employee offered up some details on how they will feature. Peter will reportedly gain the iconic black suit in the first part of the game, using the symbiote's tendrils as 4 extra arms in combat. Rather than being an alien, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is pulling from the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, where the symbiote was created by Oscorp, something which is referenced in the post-credit scene in the first game. Following an unspecified story event, Peter separates himself from the suit, which takes the new host and becomes Venom. To combat the new villain, Peter develops the 4 robotic arms seen in the game's reveal trailer. The post goes on to say that Kraven the Hunter will serve as the game's main antagonist, as Peter and Miles fight against his army of mercenaries. The poster does say that while they're unsure of the secondary villains, both Felicity and Mysterio appear in the game. As of heroes, no other Marvel heroes will be included in the story, but the amount of Easter eggs alluding to a greater universe has significantly increased. As with all leaks, it's worth taking this information with a large grain of salt. While many of the poster's comments sound valid, they have yet to prove any authentication that they work at Insomniac Games. Fans should temper their expectations until any kind of official confirmation is provided by the developer. Now, when it comes to this leak, I am a bit skeptical, I'm not gonna lie, but even if a little bit of it is true, it does give me hope that Insomniac are not only going to improve upon the features that were in Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, but also adding brand new features that will make the game even better, like being able to switch between Peter and Miles, which is one of the features that I've been wanting the most. If you guys have been watching the channel, you guys would know that I would not shut up about that feature specifically. So if this is true, I'm really happy that Insomniac could possibly add that into the game. And for smoother transitions and walk around to be improved, it's pretty much expected, as not only will it be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but also the walk-around mainly has been something a lot of fans have been complaining about, as there are a lot of ledges where you can't really climb over it, and a lot of the cases where you're climbing up the wall to get to the ceiling, for some reason you can't really do that, which for me I have to web sip if I want to get to the ceiling and collect a backpack or something. So I really hope that in Marvel Spider-Man 2 Insomniac does improve upon that, and they usually listen to feedback and criticism and pretty much made the best game that they can. So I definitely think it's going to happen. With the web swinging speed being 1.7 to 1.8 times faster than Spider-Man PS4 is admittedly a bit specific. Now they could be lying and just adding random numbers to just make it seem like it's true, which is definitely possible. But obviously with Marvel Spider-Man 2 being a PlayStation 5 exclusive once again, it's obviously common knowledge that the game will definitely be faster than the original game, since there were a lot of things that the PlayStation 4 could not handle. Therefore, Insomniac will definitely take advantage of the power of the PlayStation 5 and pretty much made the experience so much fun. For the Venom symbiote, it does say that in the Insomniac Marvel universe, it's going to be made by Oscorp, kinda similar to the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. However, the thing is, in the Ultimate comics, it wasn't made by Oscorp, it was just created by Peter's father and Eddie Brock's father, Richard Parker and Eddie Brock Sr. respectively. Later on, in order to complete its creation, they did eventually work for Trask Industries. So in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, the symbiote has no ties with Oscorp, but obviously in the Insomniac Marvel universe, they may in fact explain that it is man-made, but it will most likely be created by Oscorp, and they explain that Norman was one of the people who created it. Which, even though I prefer the symbiote being alien, I don't personally mind that. And it's pretty interesting that the metal arms Peter has in the reveal trailer was developed by Peter in order to help defeat Venom. Now, if you remember in my breakdown, I did speculate saying that it might be a suit power instead of the arms being quote-unquote canon, but it seems like it will be canon, and the more I thought about it, the more likely I thought it will be. So it looks like it will be canon, since it looks like it's a feature in something I'm going to continue to show more of. They also say that Kraven the Hunter will be the main antagonist of the game, which in my opinion would be pretty surprising, since Venom is going to be in the game and he's been set up the most since SpiderMan PS4. I automatically assumed that he will be the main villain of the game. But if this is to be true, then it looks like Venom may be defeated pretty early on in the game and won't be saved as a final boss of Marvel Spider-Man 2, which for me will depend on the execution. But until Insomnia comes out and says that that isn't the case, I still think Venom will be the main villain of Marvel Spider-Man 2. It also mentions that both Lizard and Mysterio will appear in the game, which isn't surprising at all, especially when it comes to Lizard, as Dr. Connors appeared in the post-credit scene in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. So if the Lizard isn't in the game at all, I would be very surprised. Same with Mysterio, he was mentioned a lot in Spider-Man PS4, so he's not only one of the villains that I want in the game, but he's also one of the villains I expect to be in it. It also says that Marvel heroes won't be in the game, which to me is probably true, but obviously we'll probably have more Easter eggs alluding to their existence, probably even referencing other characters that haven't been referenced in Spider-Man PS4, like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. And personally, I'm definitely expecting some sort of mention or reference towards Wolverine, as he is getting his own solo game by Insomniac. So all in all, I think a lot of it is pretty much to be expected and pretty obvious that we will see a lot of that in Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I don't think certain things like Kraven being the main antagonist will be true. However, I could definitely be wrong, and if I am, that's fine, as long as it is executed well and the story is great. However, what about you guys? Do you think this Marvel Spider-Man 2 leak is true? If so, if not, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and one more, subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.